In this lesson, we cover the Cartesian plane and graphs. Before doing that, let's have a revision of how we put any given point on a Cartesian plane. So here I have the point A with an x value of 2 and a y value of 4. So remember, the first value is x and the second value is y. So I'm talking about the point A with an x value of 2 and a y value of 4. So how do I show that on a Cartesian plane? That tells me, number 2 tells me that I need to go across by 2 after starting from the origin. Where the origin is where the two axes meet. This is the x-axis and that is the y-axis. So where the two axes meet is the origin. So you always start from here. Then you go across by 2. So go across by 2. You end up at this point. And then from that point, you go up by 4. So go up by 4. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. So you end up at that location. So this location shows the point A with an x value of 2 and a y value of 4. Other way of thinking of that is on the x-axis you start from 2 and draw a line upwards like this. And on the y-axis you start at 4 and draw a horizontal line like this. Where your two lines meet is the point A. Similarly, for point B, x is 5 and y is 3. So I start with the origin. I start from the origin, go across by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. And that is the point B. Now we do the same thing with a table of values. To make a table of values, consider your age as input and your year at school as output. Okay, so that means when you are, for example, 12-year-old, you're going to be in year 7. When you are 13, you're going to be in year 8. When you are 14, you're going to be in year 9. When you are 15, you're going to be in year 10, and so on. So that is your age as input, and the year in which you are is the output. We want to show this information, this table of values, on a Cartesian plane. So on my Cartesian plane, output always goes on the vertical axis. Output is on the vertical axis, which used to be the y-axis, and the input is on the horizontal line, horizontal axis, or the x-axis. So that is always the input, that is always the output. That's very important to pay attention. Okay, now age is 12, your year is 7. So that's 12, so you go across from the origin by 12 and then go up by 7, you end up here. So that point represents these two values on the table of values. Okay, so that point shows these values. Then you have 13 for age and 8 for year. So you go across to 13 and then you go up by 8 and you end up at this point. This point represents these two values. Then you go across by 14 and up by 9. 14, 9. If you are more comfortable, you can also write them in this form. That point 12 and 7 can be written as this. You can write it as 12, 12, and 7. So this is the same as these two values. And 13 and 8, you can write it as 13, 8. And this, you can write it as 14, then 9, and so on. 5, 15, and 10, 16, and 11, and 17, and 12. Alright, if you are more comfortable, you can first write them in this form, which is more familiar. So rather than going straight from your table of values to the graph, you can write them first as coordinate of the point in the bracket, like I've done here, then put it on the Cartesian plane. Or if you are comfortable, just go straight away. So that's 12, 7. That's x 13, y 8, x 14, y 9, x 15, y 10. Or we said that in this case, x means age and y means the year group. So here I've got 16 and 11, 16 and 11, 16 and 11. So that is my x or my input, that is my y or my output. So 16 and 11. So I go across to 16 and I go up by 11. Alright, I haven't shown this one here. Okay, you can extend and show also 17 and 12. I haven't done so. So here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've shown only 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As I said, this refers to 12, 7 or this 12 and 7. Okay, that's how we show the table of values on a Cartesian plane. Remember that your horizontal axis is your input always, and your vertical axis is always your output. Thank you for your attention.